Hello all, and welcome to this week's live. It's actually Wednesday night here. I'm doing the live at a little bit of a different time this week. Just making things work with everything that's going on in my life at the moment, with a few different issues going on and challenges going on. So just a reminder to anyone that's out there, we all have challenges come up throughout our lives, even the most successful people do. So sometimes things do need to be changed around to a different day, but we can still, get them done right. Whatever is important to us, despite what's going on in life, we can still make a time to get that done. So when you come and watch this live, please say hello and let me know what you're watching from. And what you'd like to get out of being in this group, and if there's anything in particular you want to learn more about or you like tips on, definitely let me know, because I made this group to support you, right? And the best way for me to support you as much as possible is for you to let me know what you actually need the most help with. So my name is Zoe Jean, and I am an NLP coach and an NLP practitioner and an anxiety coach. I help women from all over the world to heal their anxiety using the Rewrite Your Anxiety method, which focuses on rewinding the programs in your subconscious mind, regulating your nervous system, building a deep connection with your body, and building sustainable habits, right? Because all four of those are crucial on your healing journey. You need to be able to rewire the programs in your subconscious mind so you're able to show up in a different way, right? Because whatever the programs are going on in your subconscious mind, that is going to control your life. So you need to be able to rewire those programs. You need to be able to build a deep connection with your body so you can pick up on the signs and signals of stress and anxiety in the early stages, so you can regulate your nervous system and regulate your emotions and come back to a place of calm, as well as to be present. It's so important to be present in the moment, right? And a good way to be present in the moment is to be connected to your body and understand what's actually going on in your body. You need to be able to regulate your nervous system to be healthy and well as well. And once you regulate your nervous system, you also want to widen that window of tolerance, because the wider that is, the more everyday life stresses and challenges can come your way, and you'll be able to handle it without it making you spiral out of control. And then habits are obviously important as well, right? Because everything we do in life is based off of habits. So it's about recognizing all your habits, which ones are negative but still giving you something. Like a common one that I talk about a lot is the fact that I used to overeat. That overeating is a bad habit, but what it was giving me was, joy, happiness, and everything that I wasn't getting elsewhere. Hi Amanda, thanks for watching. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, or let me know what you want to see more of. And yeah, today's live's talking a little bit about phobias, because I've had a lot of people ask questions lately about, what to do in regards to having phobias with certain things. Obviously, rewiring the programs in your subconscious mind and doing deep nervous system work will be really powerful for that. But what you can start with on your own is what I wanted to talk about today, to give you some actionable tips that you can use, when you have a phobia. It could be, for example, like a driving in the car phobia, a phobia of, going outside or going to work or going on the bus, of going on a plane. You might resonate with some of those phobias. Let me know if you do. But the first tip that I always suggest to people when it comes to something like this is, to plan ahead. Just plan what you're going to be doing, plan where you're going to be going, and, write down the steps or tasks involved in order to get from where you currently are to where you want to go. So on the bus, plan the steps or tasks that you need to do on the ride, or that will help you be prepared for the ride, so you're less anxious because you actually know what's involved and what you'll be doing, and what you need to do, and just whatever is needed to help you be more safe, on the bus, for example, on the plane, or when driving, or the steps that will help you just be prepared and plan and know that you're okay in that moment with whatever sort of task that you're doing. And number two is kind of, pretty simple, but really needed. Just remembering to take your deep breaths before doing that activity, whatever it is, and do something mindful, right? If you start the day off in your head and in a negative mindset, of course that's just going to make whatever the phobia is, it's going to make going to do that so much worse. So just start the day, or before you go to do whatever the phobia is, just start your day off with something mindful, whether that's deep breaths, whether that's a meditation, whether that's coloring in, just something that makes you feel more present and getting back into your body rather than being in your head. And then, you know, number 3, for example, is, you know, you could track your ride or your trip. So if it's a bus or like a plane or going in a car somewhere, you know, just track where you're going on that, you know, on that ride, on that trip, so you can feel more safe, that you actually know where you're going, so you feel more safe and certain of what the outcome is, essentially, because you know exactly where you're going. Or say if it's a work situation, you feel your phobia of a certain workplace, you know, track you know, the tasks that you do throughout the day and your jobs for that day, and, you know, track where the location of it is, for example. And, you know, number 4 is, you know, reward yourself when it comes to completing that, you know, that day at work or that bus trip or that plane ride or whatever it is. Reward yourself for something that you enjoy. So it tells your body and your subconscious mind that, oh my God, when I complete this is a good thing. I get a reward. I can celebrate myself. The more you reward yourself and celebrate yourself, the more positivity and high energy you create, and then you're more likely to be able to do that again as well. And, you know, number 5 is just take your time to be present and focus on here and now. What's happening here and now, rather than getting one thought and then letting that fixating on that in your head and then coming up with all these other conclusions and problems and issues. And prevent that from happening by just focusing on what is here and now and what is present. You know, what are you seeing in this moment? What can you feel in this moment? What can you hear in this moment? What's the actual truth here? Just start to focus on that. And, you know, number 6 is to begin to question that anxiety. Like, if it's bus anxiety, where does that bus anxiety come from? You know, it's like one way to, you know, help with your phobias is to actually question what is going on. Because half the time, you know, it's a habit, right? That anxiety, that phobia is a habit, right? And you just do it without even thinking about it. And you can actually sometimes find out it's much easier to stop, but only if you're actually aware of it. You can't stop something that you're unaware of, right? So just begin to start to question it. You know, where is that bus anxiety, that phobia of whatever it is coming from? What exactly are you afraid of? What is that anxiety trying to tell you? Because if you're aware of what you're actually afraid of, then that's also a sign of what needs to be worked on and what needs to heal. Awareness is one of the first steps to healing. So if you're aware of what exactly you're afraid of, then that's something that we're aware of. If you're aware of what the anxiety is trying to tell you, then you can actually start to work with that anxiety instead of against it. Because a lot of time our anxiety is 10 times worse because we work against that anxiety instead of with it. So start to work with that anxiety. What is that anxiety trying to tell you? And, you know, how is the anxiety affecting you? And what does it make you think or do? What is the anxiety? How is it affecting you? And what does it make you think or do? Because if you realize what the anxiety makes you think and do, then you can distance yourself from that, and you can be like, oh, that's the anxiety. That's not me. That's not what I have to do. That's not what my thoughts have to be. That's the anxiety. And you can distance yourself from that because you are you. You're not the anxiety. So start to, you know, notice the difference between who you are and who your anxiety is and what you're choosing to be. Are you going to show up as you, or are you going to show up as the anxiety? And how can you get some of the benefits? How can you use anxiety for your benefit, right? The anxiety is there for a reason. It's there to protect you. It's there to keep you safe. Like, it thinks it's serving you. Our bodies love us and want to protect us. They're not trying to harm us. So that anxiety is there for a reason. So how can you work with that anxiety instead of against it? How can you use the benefits of that anxiety for a positive, right? Like, think about it. Like, stress and anxiety go together, right? And for example, stress, right? A lot of stress comes from stuff that are important to us. Like having a job's important to us so we can provide for ourselves and our family. Having a roof over our head's important. Getting from A to B in a car is important. So certain things stress us out, but it's for a reason, right? So it's the same with anxiety. Certain things make us anxious, and certain times it's for a reason. But a lot of the times we work against anxiety, we don't get help with our anxiety, so we end up being anxious about things that aren't actually important, and we start making up things to be anxious about. But at the get-go, at the starting point, whatever first makes you anxious is generally something that is important. But we just end up getting stuck in our heads and take it to the extreme, and then it gets worse and we create more anxiety thinking about the anxiety, and because that anxiety basically becomes our identity, right? So let's start to work with the anxiety. Let's start to have the anxiety be there if necessary, but really minimize it and let it be a passenger in our bus rather than the controller of our life. So I'd love for you to let me know what makes you anxious. Do you have a phobia about a certain situation or tasks? Let me know so I can support you. But these are going to be some really good tips to help you get started. And I will just re-say them so you can quickly jot them down and maybe expand on them in your own time. So number one was, to plan ahead. To make the trip easier, or make whatever you're going to do easier, to plan ahead, know what's involved, know what the tasks are, know what you need to do, and know what you can do in that moment to help keep you safe and calm. Number two is, to take deep breaths or do something mindful. Number three is to track your trip or ride, or, track what you're doing and start small with whatever task that you're doing. Or, for example, take someone with you for whatever you're going to do. Don't do it on your own. Number four is to reward yourself when you complete the trip or task or whatever it is, and celebrate yourself. Number five is take time to focus on what is here and now and being present in the moment. And number six is just begin to question that anxiety. Really question the anxiety, where it's coming from, what it's trying to tell you, what exactly you're afraid of, how you can prevent whatever you are afraid of, and what the benefits are of that anxiety. So those are the 6 steps to start to help you debunk your phobias. And as mentioned, these are really good starting points to help you consciously with your phobias. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be able to heal the whole phobia. So if you want more support, if you want to heal that phobia completely, it really comes down to rewiring the programs in your subconscious mind, regulating your nervous system, releasing the tension and trauma from your body and your mind, and building sustainable habits, right? And this is something that I help my clients with within the Rewrite Your Anxiety method and program. So if it's something that you're interested in learning further, or you'd like some further support on these questions, definitely let me know. And yeah, let me know if you know where your anxiety is coming from, if you know where it started. Did it start from childhood conditioning? Did it start from a trauma that you had in childhood? Because wherever it started, it doesn't need to end there. You can get support. You can heal it. You can overcome it just like I did. So yeah, if you'd like some support, definitely reach out. Let me know if you'd like to learn a little bit more about how to implement these steps, or know the next step further to it. Definitely feel free to comment below or message me. And yeah, I can't wait to hear how you go with these questions. And what exactly your phobia is, right? Because I can't help you or keep you accountable to heal unless I know exactly what you're going through. So let me know. If you don't feel safe to, if you don't want to write it below, then send me a message, and I can't wait to support you. Bye for now.